Jim Rome takes on sports.
I will always have a complicated relationship with this game, but people evolve. So do sports. Do not make me regret this. Do not make me devolve back to that guy that so many clones wish that I still was. And do not embarrass the entire country. Now, I can go back. I can get there fast. Lose tonight, and you got a real problem. Do not blow it.
The Jim Rome Show podcast.
You've been warned.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
All right, I think we are all good to go. Scott Hamilton joins us now. You can hear him on 107.5 The Game in Columbia, South Carolina. You can also read his work, Back Porch Sports, as well, the podcast with Ronnie Sanders. Scott joins us now on Three Man Front. Scott, we're just reading some of the quotes from Jim Phillips, Ph.D., this morning from the ACC Media Days there in Charlotte. Your thoughts on some of the comments in regards to the Protect College Sports Act, talking about the SEC Big Ten breaking away. Your thoughts on Jim?
I take it as him being the Stuart Smalley of conference commissioners. We're good enough, we're smart enough, and daggone it, people like us. That's totally my takeaway when Jim Phillips steps up and delivers his remarks. And I think it was really driven home when he was asked the question about realignment, and that's always a question that's going to come up, I guess. And he said, look, we want people to want to be here, not feel like they have to be here. But given the state of things, I think you should just be grateful that they're around. It doesn't matter if they have to be there or not.
It's funny because when pending litigation is been settled between Clemson and Florida State, it's easy for you to say, I've always wanted this conference to be a place where schools want to be, not where they have to be.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I mean, you literally had your biggest brands, or two of your biggest brands, suing to leave. How bad is it when that's like Macaulay Culkin trying to get emancipated from his parents. Things are that sideways that they've got to get out to get their own money. You know what? That's a good analogy. We need to use that going forward. Clemson is Macaulay Culkin.
That would fit Dabo Swinney pretty well.
I'll take a medium cheese pizza, please.
Scott Hamilton, 107.5 The Game in Columbia, South Carolina, joins us here. We were just bemoaning the fact that it's been a minute or two since we've really gotten any kind of big breaking news out of the SEC football media days. The next 3 days there in Charlotte, what are you hearing? Do we anticipate anything really earth-shattering, or basically what we've heard from Jim Phillips this morning is kind of what you're going to get the next couple of days?
That's it. And first of all, if we're going to get anything from the coaches over, this afternoon or tomorrow, the biggest thing that could come out would be Bill Belichick's daughter-in-law. She's on the run, by the way. There's an arrest warrant for her. I don't know if you guys saw that.
We did see it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of an interesting take. Other than that, I don't expect anything. It's a pretty ho-hum bunch of guys. Dabo will do his shtick. Will he readdress the Luke Farrelly, Ole Miss, Pete Golding tampering stuff? Jim talked about it this morning, but he didn't specifically talk about that, which I thought was a missed opportunity. I felt like he should have addressed that specifically, and even maybe said, I've reached out to my peer, Greg Sankey, or I'm going to, or something. I thought that kind of looked – his words were hollow because he says he wants action, but I don't hear them taking action. I'll be curious if Dabo says anything. But look, here's my biggest takeaway. These events, there used to be a news hook. You guys know how this is. There's some kind of big announcement the conference will make on these media days, and it's actually usually pretty significant. I remember when they announced the ACC network. Yes, there is an ACC network. Go wrap your mind around that. But that was a big deal. That was supposed to be the transformative moment for the Atlantic Coast Conference. It was supposed to be, you know what? We are reinforced forever now. We are going to be toe-to-toe, shoulder-to-shoulder, nose-to-nose with the SEC and the Big Ten in perpetuity, and it didn't work out. And now those big announcements are relegated to, hey, we figured out how to fix our tie-breaking problem that nearly kept us out of the playoff. Hey, we made a lot of money again last year. Still not as much as everybody else, but we made money. We're doing okay. All is well.
Scott Hamilton joining us here on Three Man Front, Back Porch Sports, 107.5 The Game, joining us on the Higginbotham Hotline. James Franklin, Virginia Tech, that's got to be getting some buzz, wearing the new colors, a lot of excitement there in Blacksburg, a lot of money going into that program. How much buzz is that getting in the circles you run in?
Pretty big amount of buzz, because that's a program that takes football seriously. It's a school that takes football seriously. James Franklin love him or hate him, criticize him or praise him, he's won games. He just didn't win at a standard that Penn State wanted him to maintain. I think he'll do very well in Blacksburg. I think that's a better fit for him than Penn State, actually. And they want to win so badly, and they see an opportunity in now a weakened ACC, which is, again, saying something, that they are pumping in buku dollars, man, to give him what he needs to cook. I can actually see them making the playoff year 2. I wouldn't be surprised year 1 if he's worked the portal right.
You know, you were talking about Virginia Tech, and we will see many of these preseason thoughts about the ACC. But I did notice this morning, according to USA Today, their ACC preseason rankings, what they did is they took all the writers that cover the ACC schools, part of the USA Today network, and they voted. And no surprise, Miami is listed as the team to beat, followed by SMU, Louisville, then Clemson. I want to ask you about Clemson because you're in Clemson's backyard broadcasting from Columbia, South Carolina. What is the general feeling about this year's Clemson Tiger team? And is Dabo under any pressure whatsoever to get this thing back on track?
He's under pressure, but I wouldn't say it's like the traditional type of pressure. You know, they're not going to fire him. They're not. He'll be there as long as he wants to be there unless something god-awful were to happen. But there is pressure because they've gotten accustomed to this standard, and it's a standard of his own making for what, 14 years now, 13 years now. And it's hard for those people who really transformed from feeling like poor little old Clemson for the 40 years leading up to that, and all the world's against us, and we've had all these bad breaks. They've spent a decade popping shirt buttons and really up in their feels. And now they've been humbled, and they're trying to adjust, and there's a little bit of panic mode. I think if they don't make the ACC championship game, the heat is going to turn up. But he's safe. He's not going anywhere. It would have to absolutely bottom out, and he would have to leave on his own accord.
Scott, aside from Virginia Tech, who's maybe one of or two of those other dark horse teams in the ACC you could see making some noise? Some teams that maybe got a lot better over in the offseason.
A team that got a lot better in the offseason. Does SMU count? I know they were up there in that, but I like having Kevin Jennings back at quarterback. I like SMU, man. I'm a Brett Lashley guy. I said when NIL became a thing that the two schools I thought that would really crack the code would be SMU and Washington. I'm still waiting on Washington, but it's really worked for SMU. I like having a veteran quarterback, and it's just a bad league, dude. It's just a bad league. I could see SMU being a team that could win the conference, get a good positioning in the CFP, and maybe win a game.
So Tom Herman is back in college football. He's going to be an analyst, it appears, for Florida State. Mike Norvell, what are you hearing down in Tallahassee and the rest of the ACC? How much pressure is he under this year to get that thing back righted and maybe to a bowl game?
Oh, man, I'm thinking he gets fired during the bye week. That's probably what we're hearing. And I'm sorry I don't have the schedule in front of me, but I was actually looking at it yesterday, and the way the schedule works out, I could see them making a change probably third week of October. I mean, that's a bad program. It's not getting any better. I talked to some people down there who say he absolutely missed again with the portal. High school recruiting's not making it happen. And in Florida State, here's the thing about Florida State. For all of its posturing and grandstanding about we need our share of the pie, we need more money, we deserve more money, yada, 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 they don't put it back into the program. And that's something that haunted Jimbo Fisher. It's something that haunted Bobby Bowden, believe it or not. But you could get away with it back then. But now where money is everything, facilities are everything, NIL is everything, the house settlement stuff is everything, you can't cut corners. You got to put money into your program. And Florida State is talking one game, but it's doing another. You know, it's interesting because I'm sitting here looking at their schedule. October 9th at Louisville, October 17th at Miami. Then you get a bye week. That might have been the one that you're talking about on the 24th. Yeah. And then they come back and they play Clemson on the 31st. Yeah. So that's a 3-week or a 4-week run, 3 games. Will be very interesting to see what happens there. They play on the road 4 out of 5 games in that stretch. Yeah. Yeah, and Louisville is one. Louisville might have the best backfield in the country. I'm going to throw that out there. those guys, the Brown brothers, they're not really brothers, but they are rock solid. And I like what they've got going on there. That's another school with a lot of money.
Did they have any money left from what they spent in the basketball portal? Good grief.
Man, young brands, baby. Listen, you got this one company. Forget Papa John and all his awfulness. I got a story about Papa John I'll tell you sometime. Me, him, and he was drunk and we're in an elevator. But no, yeah, it was great. It was great. He was basically breathing in my face, begging me to vote for Lamar Jackson for Heisman. He was hammered. But anyway, you got young brands. Right there. Young Brands has the holy trinity of fast food. You have Pizza Hut, you have Taco Bell, and you got Long John Silver's. They got that kind of money, man. They got Long John Silver's money at Louisville.
You just described every championship lunch at the White House that every team has enjoyed.
Oh, God, that's a good one. Touche. Well done.
That is Scott Hamilton. You could hear him on 107.5 The Game in Columbia. Also, Back Porch Sports with Ronnie Sanders. Great podcast. Scott, always appreciate you joining us. Next 3 days, ACC Football Media Days. Enjoy it, and we'll talk to you soon.
Hey, guys, can I make one quick plug?
Absolutely.
Yes.
We got our next podcast will be dropping in a few days, and we've got Steven Garcia, former South Carolina quarterback, coming aboard.
Ooh.
You guys remember Steven?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Well, Steven's got stage 4 colon cancer right now. We talk about his journey, what he learned from playing football, and how those lessons are helping him battle this awful disease.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a must-hear there on the podcast. Scott, thank you, man. Appreciate it very much, and
Thanks,
we'll talk to you again soon.
Y'all are the best. See you, brother.
Appreciate it. That is Scott Hamilton joining us on the Higginbotham Hotline. Higginbotham is your one-source solution for insurance, financial, and HR services.
Scott, SMU as a dark horse.
Mm-hmm.
James Franklin.
And Mike Norvell is going to be fired in the bye week in October.
And Virginia Tech making a college football playoff.
Has FSU Dave released a statement on that comment?
We'll find out next on Three Man Front.
Jim Rome takes on sports.
Part of what makes this show is the show within the show. The biggest topic on the show always seems to be the show itself. This is a way to give you clones a way to interact with one another. Yes, we will be going through the chat. Yes, it'll be a part of the program. The only thing that could ruin the show are the old school clones spitting up the same bull crap that they always have. The jungle is out taking names and ready to dominate. Let's get
The
it.
Jim Rome Show podcast. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.